All right, so let's do the second problem using the same steps that we just used up above here. So it says magnesium chloride combines with sodium oxide to form magnesium oxide and sodium chloride. I kind of give that to you, don't worry. If you start with 45.0 grams of magnesium chloride, how many grams of sodium chloride would form? Okay, so step one is write your balanced equation. So in this case, I look at it and I see that I have 2 Cl's on this side and I only have 1 on this side, so this needs a 2. This gives me 2 NAs, but look at this, I already have 2 NAs, perfect. Over here, I have 1 mg, so over here is 1 mg, so that looks perfectly balanced to me. So I have a 1, 1, 1, 2. All right, awesome. Next step is I'm going to write down what I have and what I want. So I read the problem. I have 45 grams of magnesium chloride. So I'm going to say 45 grams of magnesium chloride. And I want to know how many grams of sodium chloride. How many grams of NaCl? That is what I'm trying to find out. And as always, what I start with goes in the top one right here. So right here, I'm going to say 45 grams MgCl2. That's what I start off with, and it should be 45. And over here, what I want, grams of NaCl. So now that we have everything kind of lined up, we're going to use the same sort of thing. We go from mass to moles, moles to moles, moles to mass, okay? And whatever's in this top left, we bring it on down right here. So we're going to go from grams of MgCl2 to moles of MgCl2. We're going to go from moles to moles. We're going to go from moles of MgCl2 to moles of NaCl. And then we're going to go from moles of NaCl to grams of NaCl. This is our roadmap. This is our strategy. For when we approach it this way, we have grams cancel out with grams of MgCl, moles of MgCl2, moles of MgCl2, moles of Na, moles of Na, and I'm left with grams of NaCl, which is exactly what I want. So now that I have my units cancel out, I can start to think about the numbers that go in here. And the next step that I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out the molar mass for each MgCl, what I start off with, and NaCl. Now in this case, I don't need to figure out the molar mass of Na2O or MgO. I'm just going to worry about the things that are in my equation. So for MgCl2, I have 1 Mg and 2 Cl's. See, it's MgCl2. My mass for Mg is 24.305. My mass for chlorine, I'm going to look over here, is 35.45. 1 times this is 23.05. This one right here is 70.9. And I'm going to add these together. And I get something like 24.305 plus 70.9 equals 95.205. 95.205. Okay, cool. And I'm going to do the same thing for NaCl. And I look over here, is 22.99. So 1 times that is 22.990. My Cl, I know, is 1 times, and it's the same as over here, 35.45, right? And so then I'm going to add these together. And I get 22.990 plus 35.45 equals 58.44. 58.44 grams per mole. Now we are ready to input these numbers. So the first one I have is the molar mass of MgCl2. So this is MgCl2, and I figured out the molar mass is 95.205 grams for every 1 mole. Remember, the number always goes next to the grams, which in this case is on the bottom. Now over here, I have moles of NaCl and moles of MgCl2. So I have to look at my balanced equation. So for moles of MgCl2, I notice that there's a 1 out in front, so I put a 1 out in front here. And for moles of NaCl, I notice that there's a 2 out in front here, so I put a 2 in front there. Now on this last one, it's the molar mass of NaCl, and that's what I calculated right down here. And I saw that is 58.44 grams for every 1 mole. All right, so now we are in our last step, which is just the math part of it. So in this, what I do is I say, okay, 45 times 1 times 2 times 58.44, just the top number. So 45 times 1 times 2 times 58.44, and I make sure I use the equal button now. And now I'm going to divide it by everything on the bottom individually. Divided by 95.205 equals divided by 1 equals 55.2. 55.2 grams of NaCl. Okay, so what does that mean? So that means if I start with 45 grams of magnesium chloride, 45 grams of magnesium chloride on this side, I'm going to end up with 55.2 grams of NaCl on this side. For the homework today, when you get to Canvas, okay, there is a worksheet. And in that worksheet, it says 6.8. Might have a different number up here, doesn't matter. But what it's going to show you is two different problems. Similar problems to the ones we just did today. On the first page, what you're going to see is everything on this page has to do with this balanced equation: water and oxygen and hydrogen. Okay, so you're first going to balance it. I'll give you a hint. It's already balanced right here. You're going to calculate the molar mass of each of these. I'll give you a hint. We've already done 2 of them. And then you're going to use this information right here to calculate a few different things. So there's 3 problems that have to do with this chemical formula. Then there's a brand new chemical formula, and you have to balance that, find the molar mass of each of them, and then do 3 problems that has to do with this one. Now, this homework assignment is tough, but everyone goes at their own pace. Some people get this. They're rare, okay? Some people really can fly through it, but a lot of people need to go kind of slower and understand it. So what I did is I posted videos of me teaching all of these different parts. Look at, here's me going through the different problems. So I want you to, instead of me teaching and maybe going too fast or too slow, I want you to use those videos, press play, and do the homework assignment, but use pause when you need to use pause. There's no way that you can press play and just do the whole homework assignment. You need to press pause to see and have me explain it. And if you think you get this, go ahead and, try the first couple, press pause, try another one, and see how I did it. Okay? Cool? Cool.